Ferruccio Lamborghini, once a prisoner of war, became a leader in tractors. This success was the result of his engineering skills. With such a successful company, many wonder, why venture into a new market? And not just any market, but the realm of supercars, brimming with competition. Was he naturally audacious, or did someone influence him? Lamborghini is now synonymous with luxury cars. But who or what made him change direction? In 1916, in a picturesque town named Renazzo, located in southern Italy, a plot was unfolding. It was a turbulent time. Italy was recovering from the aftermath of World War I, food was scarce, and many Italians were familiar with the pain of hunger. In the midst of this reality, Ferruccio Lamborghini, born into a traditional family of farmers, was living his childhood. It was an era where children often followed in their parents' footsteps. Thus, Ferruccio was destined to be a farmer, like the Lamborghinis of generations past. Ferruccio's days on the farm were marked by hard work. He learned the value of effort and perseverance, but it was mechanics that truly captured his heart. The family owned a tractor, and for young Ferruccio, that machine was an enigma waiting to be solved. He spent hours trying to understand its mechanisms, disassembling and reassembling. It was more than curiosity, it was passion. The Italian context of the time still saw an emerging automotive industry. However, while other young people might have dreamed of green fields or traditional careers, Ferruccio dreamed of gears and engines. Upon completing his basic education, a dilemma arose. The family expected him to take over the farm, but engineering called more strongly. Against expectations, he chose Bologna and his studies in engineering. Upon finishing his education, global reality surprised him once again, World War II. Initially recruited to fight, his talent as a mechanic took him to Rhodes, Greece. There, he was responsible for repairing and maintaining vehicles and machinery. When the war took a pause for Italy, Ferruccio could have returned. But Rhodes, with its beauties and challenges, kept him captive. He set up a workshop, beginning to rebuild his life. However, the conflict had other plans, and he was soon captured. In adversity, his mechanical skill saved him again. Recognizing his talent, his captors employed him to care for their vehicles. 1946 was a turning point. Back in Italy, Ferruccio saw his country in ruins, but also glimpsed opportunities. Post-war was tough, the economy was shattered. But observing the agricultural reality, he spotted a niche, the need for efficient and economical tractors. Entrepreneurial as ever, he seized the government's sale of military equipment and saw a chance to reinvent these machines. His first tractor was revolutionary, initially using petrol and later transitioning to diesel. The big brands, like Fiat Trattori and Landini, dominated the scene. But Ferruccio didn't give up. His affordable, efficiently designed tractor began to catch attention. Growth was slow but steady. Realizing the potential, he made a bold decision. He used his family's property as collateral and acquired more engines. Over time, he developed his own engineering, solidifying the Lamborghini brand. Lamborghini tractors, aside from being efficient, became symbols of innovation. Ferruccio showcased their quality in annual exhibitions, putting them side by side with his competitors. His success became resounding, making him one of the wealthiest men in Italy. However, his passion for mechanics never left him. He still found time to modify cars and participate in races, like the one he did alongside prominent names such as Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. But not all races had happy endings. An accident marked the end of his racing career. However, instead of an end, this incident led him down new paths, where he would continue to revolutionize the automotive world. Ferruccio was a man of success, and while his career as a racer was brief, he amassed a substantial fortune. He was fascinated by automobiles, especially luxury ones, and during this period, Italy stood out with its stunning brands. Alfa Romeo, Fiat, Maserati, and the powerful Ferrari were names that, when pronounced, made any car enthusiast sigh. Each of these vehicles represented the pinnacle of engineering and automotive design of the time. Ferruccio's extensive automobile collection was vast. He owned models from all these renowned brands. But with keen eyes, he always found flaws, even in the most luxurious models. Take, for example, his Ferrari 250 GT. Many saw perfection in it, but Ferruccio, a meticulous man, deemed the vehicle noisy and uncomfortable for a street car. And one day, to his surprise, he discovered that the clutch in his sophisticated Ferrari was the same as those used in Lamborghini tractors. A revelation, to say the least, shocking. Ferruccio's drive led him to modify the clutch of his Ferrari, adapting it to something he considered suitable for a racing car. With good intentions, he decided to share his discovery with Enzo Ferrari. Many would have welcomed such feedback with gratitude, but Enzo was known for his strong temper and, instead of thanking him, attacked Ferruccio, suggesting he didn't know how to drive. It was a harsh blow to someone who only wanted to help. Ferruccio's pride was hurt. But instead of lamenting, he decided to take action. He decided he would create his own car. It would be more luxurious, faster, more of everything. He wanted to surpass all models in the market. With determination, he recruited a former chief engineer from Ferrari. Together, they aimed for an automobile show in Turin. The challenge was colossal, only 4 months remained until the event. Time pressed, but Ferruccio had resources and the infrastructure of his tractor company. The prototype was developed in time, but one part was missing, the engine. Yet Ferruccio, always innovative, had a brilliant idea. He filled the empty space under the hood with bricks. It was a temporary solution, but one that would go unnoticed by less observant eyes. The car was a success. Upon its release, 13 models were sold. It might sound modest, but for such a restricted market and a newborn brand, it was a victory. And while Lamborghini gained renown, a secret project was underway. Ferruccio wanted more. His team worked on the Lamborghini P400, a car that combined the essence of racing with the sophistication of the streets. Initially, Ferruccio was hesitant about the project. But realizing its potential and recalling his rivalry with Enzo, he decided to give the project the green light. The Lamborghini Miura was finished 2 days before the Geneva Motor Show in 1966. Its design was revolutionary, with the engine located in the rear. Inspired by Formula One cars, the Miura not only put Lamborghini on the map but also redefined automotive design. And as Lamborghini grew, the world watched. The Miura was acclaimed, appearing in hugely successful films and being chosen by celebrities. The brand became synonymous with luxury and power. But as in all success stories, imminent challenges were on the horizon. In the 1960s, Lamborghini's companies were thriving. The automotive company was competing with Ferrari, and the tractor business was a global leader. Exportation was strengthening the brand, but challenges arose in the following decade. The first setback occurred when importers from Bolivia and South Africa cancelled tractor orders due to embargoes. Ferruccio was left with many unsold tractors. Expenses rose, leading him to sell his tractor brand. Additionally, Lamborghini's automobile division was struggling amid the Italian crisis. Ferruccio sold 51% of it to a Swiss company. In 1973, amidst the oil crisis, he sold the remaining 49%. After selling everything, Ferruccio retired in Italy. He returned to his roots, working as a farmer. This begs the question, what happened to Lamborghini after his departure? Lamborghini changed hands several times. Currently, it is owned by the Volkswagen Group, which acquired it in 1998 after a period under Indian control. Since Ferruccio's retirement, the brand has had its ups and downs. However, under Volkswagen, it has been reborn, benefiting from the demand for supercars in the 21st century. While Ferruccio was alive, Ferrari was his major rival. Today, both are competing for the top spot. Many young millionaires of Generation Z prefer Lamborghini. The brand symbolizes innovation and the future. Ferrari, while iconic, carries a history that, for some, sounds like the past. Now, a reflection, Ferrari or Lamborghini, which one is greater? Did Ferruccio fulfill his dream?